Hello and welcome back to Bearded Ambition. As always, I like to start off by saying I thank you for your viewership. I thank you for your subscription. I thank you for liking and sharing my videos and my content. It is much appreciated. Thank you. Today we're going to talk about the digital wall. The digital wall. Now you may be asking yourself, what is the digital wall? Well, if you look behind me, you'll see a physical wall. A wall that is made up of wood and drywall and nails and all the necessary resources to make it be what it is. In the physical, that is. But the digital wall, I'm talking about a virtual reality. I'm talking about where social media lives, e-commerce, the internet. A place that is made up of zeros and ones, of code. A place where you can be anybody that you want to be. You can have a perception of reality and what you want others to perceive of you. The digital wall. A lot of us, especially as we moved into the millennium and this particular age that we are in, a lot of things have changed. The age of information, the age of knowing versus the age of belief. The age of being able to go on Google versus actually going to the library and having access to so much information and being able to fact check a lot of things that are in history and how to do things and certain documentations and particular dates and times and referencing things as far as you want to look up an actor's filmography list or an artist's discography and particular dates and particular information that is precise to what you're looking for. We can do that now in what is considered the digital wall. You can make a social media account and place pictures of yourself in any facet that you would like to do so, in front of any car, in front of any house, and perhaps in front of any location. The digital wall. It makes a reality of the onlooker perceive that it's real. Despite if that car is rented, despite if that house is not yours, despite if you are really in front of that location. Now we can crop ourselves out of our original picture and put ourselves into and in front of any picture that we desire. Almost a place of smoke and mirrors with the tech that we have and the AI at our disposal. We can become anybody we want to become. As if you were a video game character, an avatar. You can be the player that you desire to be. You can give them the muscles and all the attributes of a particular character at times, depending on what game you're playing. Despite if it's a shooter game, you can have as many guns as you want, what type of guns and ammunition and power. A fighter, the height, the strength, the skill, the stamina. A car game, the speed, the torque, etc., etc. All that is at your disposal. All that is at your disposal in this world that we live in. Behind the digital wall. Perception is everything. It's all how you see it. Is a glass half full? Is a glass half empty? But the digital wall, as I call it, has so many pros and cons to it. The pros is the information, how fast you can get the information, how vivid and uh, descriptive the information can be when you go to find it, how many different avenues to be able to go down to get information is so vast, and being able to share and to communicate and to even tweak, and you got spell check, you got all these different avenues based upon this technology to be able to bring things to life in a manner that perhaps you were never able to bring them to life. But also with the digital wall that we understand to be is the internet, it also comes with its cons. It paints a picture of those sometimes that comes across as if life is flawless. Life has no flaw. Doesn't always paint a picture of the realities of the hardships of life. Not that we should dwell on those things and promote those things. I know we should speak life into what we want. But also, by not showcasing the hardships a lot of the times in the reality, it gives others a false perception of perhaps if they think you're a millionaire or that you got it all figured out or that, you know, you're an artist and life is just gumdrops and lollipops. That can also lead to mental health. It can lead not only others at times, but also yourself if that is not your reality, of trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to put on a facade of a life that you don't have. And that can lead you down a life of depression and anxiety, because we're always looking outside of ourselves for everything that we want, when we all know that everything that we want is inside of ourselves. Everything that you're looking for is inside of you, not outside of you. You may have heard me reference this in one of my prior videos, but I use the analogy of us all being like a computer or a phone, perhaps, where we know phones and computers have programs inside of them. They have apps, games, and all different types of applications. And sometimes more than we even realize once we start digging inside of them. And on top of that, we can also download new apps. But my point is that inside of us, as humans, we have something that's already inside of us. Not just something, but some things that were already part of our default program. And a lot of times, you're constantly looking outside of yourself for the answer, for a particular gift or talent or skill set. And then, lo and behold, you do a little inside work. You start digging inside of yourself, going through your own personal phone, tablet, or laptop, and you start finding some things. You're like, wow, I didn't even realize this was there. I had no idea that the whole time this was there. So my plea is that we start looking inside of ourselves for everything, to find out what it is that we don't know, to find out what parts of us that we haven't discovered yet. And I lead that back to the digital wall, is that we don't get so consumed behind what we perceive as someone else's reality and mix that into our own reality, to where we have this false sense of reality, and understand how to differentiate the two, perhaps. A lot of things that we see online is entertainment and perhaps may not be someone's real life, or they may not actually show their real life. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be entertained, because some people understand what is the difference. Hey, okay, that person is just putting on a show. And then some people wholeheartedly press the issue as if, like, I'm really living this life. I really got all the chains. I really have a wad of money this big, and the 3-4 Lamborghinis in the garage. And a lot of the times that's not their actual reality. That is to keep up the image. And a lot of us fall guilty to trying to keep up an image, which, as I stated before, can lead us down a path of some detrimental mental health issues. Like a lot of us in this life, we have, whether we know it or not, the thing about mental health is that a lot of times people are suffering from it and don't even know, because it has become a part of them, because of whatever perhaps may have happened in their childhood, or perhaps what may have happened from a lot of the trauma that they faced that led them to be something else that perhaps they weren't necessarily going to be, but because of that pain, it forced them to put on something different. Perhaps to be a defense mechanism, to hide pain, or to just be overly the top to, mask the pain. So overall, I'm saying is to be careful on this digital wall. I'm not saying don't utilize it for what all the capacity that it contains and all the greatness that it can be and that it has. But be mindful to search for your authentic self. Have fun. Still have fun. But don't deny what's inside of you. Don't deny what's inside of your physical realm. All the things that the Creator has put inside of you, inside of your being, your spirit man. All that DNA is the real deal. That's what AI is trying to copy. And technology is mirroring what the Creator has made. And we are all just creators too. Creating things such as phones and tablets and Wi-Fi and all these things that we have at our disposal has been learnt, and we're able to utilize those resources. So we are creators too. But the universal creator that has manifested us, perhaps in his image or her image or its image, we have all that beautiful coding inside of us, our zeros and our ones, what we're made of, from our initial mother and father, and that DNA that we have, and we come out to be something special, so that we can mirror that authenticity, that originality to others. That's a beautiful thing, to be able to showcase the real you, so that people can actually see you for who you are. Perhaps you could be more of a blessing that way than being something that you aren't. As always, the saying is, or what I've been saying this whole time, is that be mindful of the digital wall, the internet, social media, this place that can be make believe. It can be a great thing for imaginations if utilized in a healthy manner. I'm not dismissing it. I utilize it, of course. But also to be mindful of myself, so that my mind is healthy, what I intake is healthy, what I give out is healthy. I want to be my authentic self, so that I can maintain my mental health and not get so caught up in the perception of others' reality or false reality, in thinking that I have to live up to an expectation of something that is not saying that anything is not attainable, but that I should just live my own truth. Perhaps I can be inspired, but I still need to make sure that I don't lose sight of myself, my original coding, my offer to the world, my gift of being myself from what the Creator has put in me in this realm that we live in. Some people reference this as the 3D realm. Whatever level of realm that we are in, I want to be my authentic self. And that when I offer myself up to you through the digital wall, that you can transparently see me. That perhaps I can add value to you in your life, how you choose to be able to take the bits and pieces of the things that I offer to you and apply them to your life. So, overall, be mindful of the digital wall. Be mindful of what you consider flawless, or a person who may seem like they have it all together. Be mindful of how the digital wall affects your mental health. Be mindful of perception. Is the glass half full? Is the glass half empty? Who's right? Who's wrong? But overall, take care of yourself. Be your authentic self. Be exactly who you are and what you feel. That is the truth. A lot of the times when we go against the grain of that and try to put on somebody that we aren't, only person we're really affecting is ourselves. And a lot of people suffer in silence. So despite this just being a talk about the resource we know as the internet, the digital wall, how its effects can touch a lot of different people in a lot of different ways if we aren't careful. Be your authentic self. Know thyself. Love thyself. Have fun. Utilize all the resources that are given to you. But also be mindful of how you reflect to others, and more importantly, how you reflect to yourself. As always, I hope that this video adds content or adds value to your life as content, and that you go out and be your best self. As always, take care. Bearded Ambition, thank you.